Liz.
I'm Chris.
And we're Adulting in Theme Park Land. Today we are going around Disney World to highlight some of the American history found throughout the theme parks and hotels.
It's worth note, Walt Disney was a true American and a real patriot. He did a lot of work during World War II to support war effort videos and stuff of that nature, and a lot of that patriotism is apparent in all of the parks.
Yes. So let's go celebrate some presidential history and some history of America.
Woo!
As you may or may not know, Main Street USA is based on Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri, where he spent the formative years of his childhood. And there's a lot of buildings here that are inspired by buildings from his life in Marceline, like the Chamber of Commerce here, where you can basically have packages shipped from throughout the theme park. If you're buying something and it's too big for you to carry, you can have it shipped to the front of the park and picked it up there. Over here we have City Hall, which is where guest relations is. But yeah, Marceline is a really cute town. This is definitely and inspired by
It's a little rose-colored
glasses version of Marceline, especially now. It definitely doesn't have the infrastructure that it did once, but it does have a very cute downtown called Main Street USA, probably named after Walt's fame. But it's a really cute town. I highly recommend any Disney fan to go visit it at least once. Here they built the fire engine. And Marceline actually is located along a train line called the BNSF. And I think that's where Walt got his love of trains, because there's a beautiful train station located at the heart of Marceline. And the train line is built right next to the Disney Hometown Museum, which is a great museum in Marceline that Chris and I have actually been to before. And I highly recommend a visit. It goes through a lot of Walt's history and the family, but also a lot of theme park history and movie history and all those things. So anyway, you can get your hair cut over here at the barber shop. Just be sure to make reservations far in advance. But you can always go and get pixie dusted if you don't have a reservation. So yeah, in Marceline now they have some buildings that have some nods to Disney's Main Street USA. And they also have the same clock that you'll see on Main Street here. I'll show it in a second. That was gifted to them by the same company that made them for the parks. And there is a cinema on Main Street USA in Marceline that Walt and his family went to some events at in Marceline. So if you go and visit the museum, they'll have pictures of that, and actually people working at the museum were there that day and met Walt Disney. So they have a lot of great history that they can share with you. But it's this clock up here, the Citizen Clock, is the one that's also in Marceline, Missouri. And now you can't visit Walt's actual family home in Marceline. It is a private residence and people actually live there. But you can visit the grounds. And there's a place called the Wishing Tree, which is a tree that Walt used to sit underneath and dream about his future. And unfortunately, the Wishing Tree itself actually did get hit by lightning and burned down. So it's not there anymore, but they've built a barn where people who want to leave good wishes for Walt can go in and actually write on the walls. Just nice things, greetings or thank yous, those kinds of things. So it's really sweet.
They have since planted another tree in the place where the original wishing tree was.
Yeah, but it's a really sweet just remembrance and tribute to Walt Disney. But anyway, in the great Disney tradition of celebrating our country, let's go look at the new merchandise.
Yay, merch!
That they have released for the 4th of July. You can find it in a few places, but here we're at the Emporium. Okay, we've made it to Liberty Square. It's kind of a fun detail I think a lot of people miss. Over here is a place to put your horse. It's a place, like a bar to rope up your horse.
It's a stable.
And then a place to get registered and keep your tack while you're in town.
Because we all rode our horses here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, this area kind of celebrates the birth of our nation here in America, so let's head on in.
One of the first things we're going to come up upon as we walk across this bridge here is the Christmas store, whose name...
Ye Olde Christmas Shop.
Ye Olde Christmas Shop, yes. And what's fun about this is it should not be here.
Well, technically, I suppose.
Technically speaking, if it was going to be historically accurate, the Puritans who settled way back when, they didn't celebrate Christmas. So this is actually something that the Imagineers wanted as a celebration of Walt's German heritage, so that they would enjoy Christmas year-round. But historically speaking, this would not have been something you had found in old Liberty times.
Hi, thank you. There's a fun countdown to Christmas right here.
Only 192 days.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that the concept of religious freedom that started the country actually didn't include a lot of the holidays that we celebrate on a regular basis.
In some periods of time, it was actually considered to be outlawed to celebrate Christmas. It's a very short period of time, so it's not a huge deal.
And then one of my favorite places to eat.
And then, of course, we can't forget another place to saddle up tie up your horse when in the Christmas shop.
Yes.
Suddenly, I feel like I should have brought my horse. Just thinking. Would have been a good thing to have with me.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have them.
Next time, we'll bring old Cammy the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cammy the horse would be great.
Yeah, I don't think Cammy would appreciate that.
You don't think she'd want to?
Wait, who is Cammy? For those who don't know.
Cammy is our cat.
Yes, Cammy is our cat.
She's an angry old lady, and I don't think she'd want to be ridden.
But anyway, when you walk in, over here is Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. It's one of my favorite places to eat. They have a great deep fried chicken and waffle sandwich with coleslaw. And then another great just reference here. Over here it says music and voice lessons with Ichabod Crane. And that's, of course, a reference to
The Wind in the Willows.
The Wind in the Willows, Sleepy Hollow combo. And you can come and take a great, family Christmas photo right here if you wanted to. So Liberty Square did used to have a great show with the Muppets explaining some American history, but sadly that's no longer offered.
Which is a shame because it was awesome.
Shame. But for those of you who saw it, you were very lucky.
Now, if we look over here, you will see this beautiful large tree with lanterns hanging in it. This is Liberty Tree. Every small town, it seemed, had a giant tree inside of a square to gather pound, and this one is no exception. This is a live oak. It's over 100 years old, and it was actually found on Disney property roughly 8 miles from where it stands today. The trouble with this tree is it's really, really heavy, so in order for them to move it to this location, they actually uprooted it, drilled big giant holes in it, and stuck big metal rods through the root system as a means to lift it up onto a set of axles, and then they pulled it on those axles over to this location. So
wow.
Imagine going down the road and just seeing a huge tree going down the road next to you.
So this wonderful sign here reads, "Under the boughs of the original Liberty Tree in Boston in 1765, patriots calling themselves the Sons of Liberty gathered to protest the imposition of the Stamp Act. In the years that followed, almost every American town had a Liberty Tree, a living symbol of the American freedom of speech and assembly." So that's fascinating. I don't think I've ever actually stopped to read this before.
First time for everything.
Yeah. And now at night it's easier to see, but there are 13 lanterns hanging on this tree, and that represents the original 13 colonies. And over here we have Liberty Bell. Now, fun fact, this was actually cast from the same mold as the original that is in Philadelphia.
They even have something that represents the crack.
Yes.
Yes. Now, realistically, the crack in the real Liberty Bell is much more prevalent here. This was definitely added post.
Yeah, but it's a nice piece of American history just right here out in the middle of Liberty Square. And then, of course, here you can also eat at Liberty Tree Tavern, which is a fantastic sit-down restaurant. It's like Thanksgiving kind of family style food, and inside there's a lot of references to American history, the 1700s in America. that whole time. We don't have a reservation, so we're not going to go inside, but it definitely would be a great addition to your time spent celebrating the birth of the nation here in Liberty Square. Now, Liberty Square was not always called Liberty Square. It actually originated at Disneyland and was an area called Liberty Street. Walt really wanted to have a section off of Main Street that celebrated the birth of the nation. And it was actually advertised for quite a few years that they were going to have it. And then it kind of changed into a street focusing on like different countries and things like that. It's changed quite a bit over the years. And then it never actually happened. So when they built Walt Disney World, they wanted to incorporate that into the theming. And over here we have kind of a famously creepy doll in the window.
It's always staring at you, never stopping to blink. Always staring.
Now, another fun little thing, me, Liz, used to work here, here in Liberty Square, right here, where these tables are now. So back in the ye old days of 2002, this area here, instead of being for strollers and seating, and actually before this market over here, there used to be a hot potato stand, and that is where I worked. So yeah, I stood here in Liberty Square in front of Columbia Harbor House, selling
like a potato.
Yeah, selling hot potatoes to hungry patrons with all the fixings.
In the sweltering summer heat.
In the heat, and when it was kind of chilly. Actually, it was a little chilly one day, and I asked for a coat, and they gave me this cool cloak that totally looked like a Jedi or a Sith robe. It was pretty rad. But yeah, it's kind of wild to think, there used to be a hot potato stand here in Liberty Square. Now, instead of hot potatoes, you can come here and get fruit and veggies, cold water, some more like healthy snacks. So one fun thing about Liberty Square is it has this brown thing running through the middle.
It's like a streak.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a rumor that's supposed to represent bad drainage of things.
All of the human and animal waste that might run through the streets of an old-timey town.
But
it's all rumors.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure. I imagine that that's not something that they'd promote if it was the case. But it sure does follow where everybody is.
Yeah, it's a fun little story. Okay, now and for the ultimate celebration of American history, the Hall of Presidents. Let's go in.
Yay! My fellow Americans, welcome to the Hall of Presidents.
Okay, here we are in the Hall of Presidents. And then here is the Great Seal of the United States. We were just talking to an amazing cast member who filled us in on some details about this. Basically, there's this one, and there's one, she believes, just in the state capitol. And there's 13 olives on the branch, 13 stars, 13, I think it was arrows.
Arrows in the clasp, yep.
To all represent, of course, the 13 colonies. This is a really special item that they have here in the Hall of Presidents.
And it's most definitely not a playpen for babies.
No. Apparently that is a thing that happens. So, guys, just, have some common sense when you come.
The more you know.
So there's a lot of great artifacts here, like a painting by Dwight Eisenhower, Teddy Roosevelt's, teddy bears, where we got the name Teddy Bears was from Theodore Roosevelt. Fly fishing gear of Carter. Probably my favorite item here is Barack Obama's basketball that actually has the seal of the president, which I love. George Bush's Rangers jacket. Items here from Nixon and Polk.
Ben Harrison's walking stick.
Fun fact about Richard Nixon is that he actually gave his "I'm not a crook" speech over at the Contemporary here on Disney property.
And he was good friends with Walt and his family apparently as well.
Yeah, key to Disneyland.
Yep.
So it's definitely worth some time to come here and take a look at some of these artifacts. Some information about the original making of this attraction, the sculpting, and of course Walt Disney's famous love for President Lincoln and the great moments with Mr. Lincoln, which is over at Disneyland and premiered at one of the World's Fairs.
So in Springfield, Illinois, there is a similar bust of Abraham Lincoln, and it is said to be good luck to rub Lincoln's nose. Now, we're not going to do that here because that would be disrespectful. However, if you turn around and you look at the nose of the bust of Walt Disney that's right behind you, apparently it's good luck to rub the nose of Walt Disney because his nose is rubbed pretty shiny.
Oh man. I still don't think we're supposed to touch that though.
No, I'm sure we're not, but this one is a lot easier to get to than Mr. Lincoln. So. General / president who started it all.
Some First Lady things over here. Eleanor Carter. Ooh, Carolyn Harrison. Madison.
Kind of a nice little walk through the different styles of the various eras.
Yeah, and a lovely cast member here told us that they apparently have Nixon's bowling ball, but it might be like in storage, which, you know, makes sense for most museums.
Also has a presidential seal.
Yes, it does. But like most museums, most of the things that they have are actually in storage.
Waiting to be shown at a later date.
Okay, well, I think it's time to go learn about the presidents in the show.
Presidents, a place to celebrate the optimism and goodwill he saw at the heart of the American story. Walt's vision was to honor the nation by honoring the American presidency.
1883, and the smoke is clearing in the wake of the Revolutionary War. Over the course of 8 grinding years, General George Washington has led a force of shopkeepers, farmers, and Native American allies to victory over the greatest military power in the world.
We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives.
George Washington, John Adams, Barack Obama.
Okay, that was the whole presidents.
Yes, it was.
What do you think, Chris?
Well, it was a nice little walkthrough of American exceptionalism that I absolutely love and enjoy. And you know who else remembers the presidents?
Who else?
Pepperidge Farm remembers the presidents. And as we sit in these rocking chairs, I'm more than happy to be rocking back and forth thinking about the show we just watched.
Yeah, it's a good show. I mean, it's perfect for a 4th of July celebration in the parks because it does celebrate the birth of our nation. It talks about George Washington, and of course all the presidents up to today.
Yep.
It's also a very lovely 22 minutes or so of air conditioning.
Lots and lots of cool air conditioning.
Which
Perfect for drying you off if you've been on a ride that might get you a little wet.
And also just cooling down on a hot day. I've had days where I feel like I'm like this close to heat stroke, and I'll take some water, I'll go sit there maybe 1 or 2 times.
Not gonna lie, I've absolutely fallen asleep in that theater because of that reason.
Yeah, but it's perfect, and I'm glad that it's there, you know, for some history, for a little good old patriotism, and air conditioning and rest time.
It is. What's more American than icy cold air conditioning?
Love it. Okay, on to our next stop. And we made it. We're here in the American Adventure Pavilion at Epcot. We're gonna go inside, check out what's in there. So come along. So here in the World Showcase is the American Pavilion, and inside the American Adventure is a great show and also a lot of history and a performance by the Voices of Liberty. So there's a new exhibit here called Portraits of Courage, which is a collection of artwork by President George W. Bush. And there's also this great American Heritage Gallery that pays tribute to a lot of indigenous peoples. Definitely worth taking the time to check out. And here's the entrance for the show, which is hosted by Mark Twain and Benjamin Franklin, and it's a good retrospective of the history of America. Also quite educational. So some more fun facts about the American Adventure Pavilion here at Epcot. First of all, originally they wanted to build the American area like at the beginning when you first walk into the World Showcase as kind of like an entranceway into the World Showcase. And Disney also thought about making it more like contemporary America, but eventually they decided to make it kind of in the middle on the other side, and it's actually raised a little bit higher than all of the other pavilions in the World Showcase to make it kind of, you know, stand out as like the host pavilion for the World Showcase experience. And then also for the show, which we're about to go see, and you have to go up an escalator to get to the second floor to go see it. And part of the reason for that is because the show is full of amazing audio animatronics that pop up and down from the stage. There's characters that like walk. I mean, it's really quite a technologically impressive show. And a lot of that actually rotates and is stored beneath where you're sitting. So you have to go to the second floor, so they have room to store all that stuff underneath, so it can come and go as you're watching the show. So that's pretty interesting.
We became more alike than we were different. New society. Not great, but fitted by our very thoughts for greatness.
Justice! We of equality be guaranteed to us and our daughters forever!
Years old today. We came a long way in that first century. And like Susan B. Anthony, we're still speaking out. And why shouldn't we, Mr.
Okay, Chris, so what was your thinking of the American Adventure Show?
Well, it certainly was an adventure. I would say that if you've never seen it before, it's definitely worth seeing at least once. I particularly like there is a song that sort of melodically tells the story of the Civil War. That's depressing, but still very well presented.
Yeah, they definitely show like the not so great parts of American history along with a lot of, you know, good parts. It's very patriotic. It's a really good show to see to kind of get you in the American spirit, and a perfect way to celebrate the 4th of July here at the parks.
Indeed.
I really love, like I said, the animatronics are amazing. Like Benjamin Franklin walks at one point, and the Statue of Liberty scene at the end is just iconic.
Yep.
I love the expedition scene with Mark Twain and Susan B. Anthony. There's just so much going on in this show. It's really worth your time. I think it's a really fantastic experience, and it's a good way to spend, again, like 25 minutes in air conditioning on a hot day.
It's just like America. There's a lot going on inside of that show.
Yeah. So anyway, I highly recommend it.
Definitely.
So we are here at the Regal Eagle, and you'll notice our food has already started. We had some audio issues earlier.
Continuity!
Yeah!
Yay!
So we're at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, which is themed after everyone's favorite patriotic Muppet,
You're all so weird.
Sandy Eagle.
This is a salute to all foods, but mostly barbecue.
Perfect. Let's dig in.
Yes. All right, so I got the pulled pork burger. It is a standard theme park burger patty with a little bit of pulled pork on top with lettuce, tomato, onion, and then it's served on Texas toast, and it's got a nice fried onion on the top. I've already taken a bite out of it because I was very, very hungry. And I can tell you that the beef patty is a standard beef patty. It's not like a fancy one that you're going to find at like a Steakhouse 71 or anything like that. It's more of a theme park patty. The pulled pork is quite good for what it is. And I would definitely say the Texas toast is where it's at. If you like buttery and a little bit of salty on your burger, it's great. And then to top it off, fried onion ring, excellent.
Okay, and here I have the beans with burnt ends, pork ribs, and then the variety of sauces here. They are Sizzling Pit Coalition. It's called brisket sauce, vinegar, and their Carolina mustard sauce. So I guess we'll give this a try, as you should with your hands, right?
Of course.
They're good. They're smoky. Honestly, a little salty. A little on the saltier side. I like the consistency though. Like they fall off the bone, but they're still a little chewy. So I'd say they're good other than just being a little too salty. But let's try the sauces. So this is kind of like their standard sauce. It's sweet, a little smoky, flavorful, good standard barbecue sauce. Okay. Oh, look, a little American flag.
That's right.
How appropriate. This is their brisket sauce. It's a little thinner. A little tangy. I say it's tangy. That's a good way to describe that one. This is the vinegar, so I imagine this will be quite tangy. It's quite thin. Oh yeah, it definitely has that vinegar bite to it. And finally the mustard. Yeah, it's a good mustard. Like I said, keep using the word tangy, but that one definitely has a great mouthfeel, a lot of flavor, really kind of hits you. So I think my favorites, I mean, I'm a big sweet sauce kind of person. The only thing they don't have is a spicy sauce, which is kind of a bummer. But I really like the sweet and the mustard are my two favorites. And now I'm going to try the beans with the burnt ends. This is one of the sides. I love a baked bean, and I love burnt ends, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, that's perfect. Baked beans are flavorful. Everything you want out of baked beans. A little sweet, a little smoky. The burnt ends are tender. That's quite good. And then we also got the homemade pickles. You can tell that they're house made. Very vinegary. Definitely packs a punch. If you like a good vinegary, spicy with regards to like vinegar spice, those are for you. And finally we got coleslaw, because I think every barbecue needs coleslaw. So we'll see how this is. It's a creamier coleslaw, not as vinegar based, more mayo based, but not like overly mayo. It's a good classic coleslaw. I recommend it.
This right here is the Moonshine Sour. And if my lovely assistants would like to read off the description,
Yes.
then I don't have to.
It's Old Smoky Blackberry Moonshine, Blood Orange, Blackberry, and Lemon. And apparently it's the most popular drink in all of the World Showcase.
Let's find out why that is.
Or maybe why they're wrong.
Wow. That is a little bit of sweet, a little bit of sour, and apparently only a little bit of alcohol. Or there's a lot of alcohol in there and it's just dangerous.
Well, it is a pre-mixed cocktail on tap. So unfortunately that usually means that they are going to be a bit less strong.
They're going to be measured in their alcohol pouring, which makes sense. I can see this being refreshing. It's equal parts sweet and sour. The lemonade-ish flavor cuts in very nicely with the sweetness of the blackberry and the other syrups. Definitely syrup. If you have any bad memories of Robitussin as a kid, this might trigger you a bit. I think one is enough. Like you couldn't sit here and drink a bunch of these all day because you'd feel the diabetes creeping in before you'd feel the alcohol creeping in. I probably will finish this, but it'll be the only time I have one of these.
Okay.
All right.
High praise.
Yeah, I know. So.
And these drinks are available next to the Regal Eagle at the bar stand right over here. Okay, and then here we have the Tennessee Lemonade, which is Jack Daniel Tennessee Whiskey Minute Maid Premium Lemonade and Peach.
All right.
It's also pre-batched, and it also sounds kind of sweet, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see what happens here. This one I actually can taste a little hint of whiskey in it, which is surprising. I was expecting it to be just like full-on sweet lemonade flavor. The lemonade is actually pretty balanced. Like I'm not drinking something that tastes syrupy. I'm not drinking something that tastes too tart or too sweet. It's like all the things that this was not good at, this is pretty good at. Like the balance of sweet and tart in this one is too much like cough syrup. The balance of sweet and tart in this one is what you would expect from a drink like this. And there's just enough of that whiskey flavor in there to make me kind of a happy guy. I would get this again.
Perfect. And then they also have a frozen daiquiri with strawberry and a frozen mint julep, both of which were not working today because apparently the things are down. So
Maybe next time.
Okay, cheers. Cheers.
Clink.
Clink.
Okay, I'm heading in. That could be very messy.
Kind of dare you to do it.
What, just dump both
I
things
know,
on
like
me?
try both of them at the same time. No, double fist it. There you go.
Oh, nope. This one overpowered this one hardcore. Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna say don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Definitely not.
Welcome to Muppet Vision 3D, where we're going to go in and celebrate my favorite eagle, that is Sam Eagle, and his 45-minute celebration to all countries, but mostly America.
You have a minute and a half.
Patriotic Analysis and Protocol, Sam the Eagle, American. Suite 1776, of course.
Okay, here we are in the queue from Muppet Vision 3D, looking for anything patriotic.
I think we found it. This is Sam Eagle's crate.
Patriotic paraphernalia, flags, fireworks, so forth and so on.
No!
Nice.
All of the things you would need if you were an eagle who wanted to celebrate America.
Thanks, guys.
What's the deal? Where are you getting your fireworks from?
Yeah, Sam, where are you getting those fireworks from?
That doesn't look a lot like an American English.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Sam Eagle.
Musical finale from Sam Eagle. Sam, what's it about?
It's called A Salute to All Nations, but mostly America.
Over yet? We start again?
Beat the fireworks!
Hey, so that was Muppets 3D.
Yes, it was.
Perfect way to finish our patriotic day here at the parks.
Yep.
There's some more things that you can do. So around 5 o'clock at the Magic Kingdom, they do a flag lowering ceremony where they pick a veteran for the day. It's really a lovely thing. We just didn't have time to get over there today.
And that is the only real American flag in the Magic Kingdom. The rest of them have either 48 or 49 stars or 11 stripes as opposed to 13. So that's the only one that does go up every morning and does come down every night.
Yep, exactly. And then there used to be a second real American flag. It was at the American Pavilion in Epcot. It was flown at 9/11. It was one of the flags recovered, but we didn't see it this time, so it's not out at the moment. But everything else is considered like a pendant.
Yep.
But anyway, it's been a great day. And then if you are here actually on the 3rd or the 4th of July, recommend going to the Magic Kingdom to see their amazing fireworks show. You can also watch them from one of the Mono resorts like near the Magic Kingdom. We actually did that last year, so I'll try to put in some footage of the amazing fireworks show. We watched them from the Contemporary after a lovely meal at California Grill. So that's a really great way to celebrate. And yeah, it's been a great day.
Happy Independence Day to everyone who's celebrating and watching this on the day of Independence Day. Movie magic reality here. We did film a little early, so this could be out for Independence Day.
Yes.
But thank you for watching.
Yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And again, I'm Liz.
I'm Chris.
And we've been adulting in Theme Park Land. See you next time.
Bye.